Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Moving into the Future. Today, I am joined by Joe Apfelbaum from Ajax Union, a digital marketing agency. Joe, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited about having this conversation, Jack.
So am I, because we've been talking about having this conversation for about 6 months now. And for our listeners, a little background. If you don't know Joe, there's really no one else like him. And I've known him for about 2 years. And when I first met him, he was a LinkedIn expert. And he still is a LinkedIn expert. But now he has another expertise in AI marketing and digital communication. So Joe, what's it been like for you this whole evolution over the last couple of years in becoming that expert in AI?
Becoming an expert in AI for me is about reverse engineering algorithms. So when I started my business, Ajax Union, I didn't start my business because I had a passion for marketing or I had a passion for advertising. I'm just a technology guy. I wanted to build websites for people because I loved building websites. And then what I found was that people were complaining to me. Do you know what they were complaining to me about? They were like, "You built me this website and nobody came. Didn't you say that if you build it, they will come?" Have you ever heard the saying
Yes,
before? If
of
you build
course.
it, they will come.
That's Moses.
If you build it, they
Or
will
no,
come. Was it the Ark?
that's not Moses. That's Field of Dreams.
Yeah. So they say if you build it, they will come, but it's not true. If you build it, they will not come. What you need to do is you need to learn how to market it. If you learn how to market it, then people will come. You have to go where the people are. And your website is not where the people are. Nobody cares about your website. So I had to learn how to figure out where people are. And back then, when I started my agency 15 years ago, the place where people were was Google. That's where people were. People were on Google. So I had to figure out, okay, how do I get my clients to the top of the search engine? Because they don't want to pay to be there. They just want to be there. And that's called search engine optimization, SEO. And I became really good at it by reverse engineering Google, by figuring out, okay, who's on there right now? Why are they on there? How do I get on there? And I got really good at getting my clients on there. As a result, I grew one of the fastest growing companies in America. We were number 178 on the Inc. 500.
Wow.
So maybe you didn't know about that, but we were a very fast growing company. And what happened is that as I started getting customers, servicing over 1,100 clients, I started learning about how business works. Because I wasn't born a business guy. I learned to be a rabbi. Like, that's what my dad wanted me to be. He's like, go be a rabbi.
That's why I said Moses. You just give off those
Yeah, it was just like
vibes.
normal. I got the rabbi vibes. Like, go be a rabbi. Go do that. And I was like, rabbis don't really make money. And so I wanted to make sure that my kids were taken care of and that I bought houses and that I sent them to private school and that I was able to go on nice vacations and like have a late model car that I leased and not like an old jalopy like my dad did where we took the ketchup packages and put them in the hole in the floor of the car because the car is falling apart. Constantly dealing with mechanics and the car is falling
Right.
apart. I'm leasing cars, like brand new cars, and I'm very happy to do that because I'm able to add value to the marketplace. And so for me, it's about reverse engineering. So I reverse engineer success now.
Right.
Like I think about, okay, success leaves clues. How are you successful? And AI is about figuring out what the AI needs to know in order for
Exactly.
the AI to give you proper results. So now I've been training people and teams on how to leverage artificial intelligence to be able to grow their business. But the AI is really, really smart. ChatGPT, Google Gemini, those tools are extremely smart, but they're only as smart as the input, as the person chatting with the AI. So if a 12-year-old child chats with the AI and it says, give me a lollipop, the AI is going to give it a lollipop. But if you're the CEO of a digital marketing agency, you understand the intricacies of messaging, of target market, of understanding how to be able to get the right words and how to be able to request the right information from the AI. Suddenly the AI is able to produce things for you very, very quickly. If you're an accountant, you know how to talk to the AI as an accountant because there are intricacies about codes and about regulations and laws and reconciliation and things like that. If you're a financial advisor, if you're a relocation mover, you understand the moving industry and the AI understands the moving industry, so you can ask it for things that I would never imagine how to ask the AI about the moving industry. And so you as an expert can rely on the AI to help you, but you have to find an expert to help you with it. That's why I always say AI is not going to take over people's jobs. Someone that knows how to use AI will take over the job of someone who doesn't know how to use AI.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely correct. You said a few very important things, one of which is you teach the AI. So the AI only knows what it knows, but you can teach it. And it's like teaching a child, like you mentioned.
I would call it more like teaching an employee than teaching a child,
Yeah,
because the AI is an employee. The
right.
AI works for
Exactly.
me. I don't
Exactly.
work for the AI. The AI works for me. Right now, I have an AI right now working for me. What's the
Yep.
AI doing?
That is
That's the AI is
Otter.
it's typing
Exactly.
everything we say. As we're
Exactly.
saying it, the AI is literally typing everything we say.
So now we have a transcript of this entire conversation that is done and good. So now when I go and put this into video form, we have the entire transcript that'll be able to easily transpute it or whatever and make easy videos for us to put on social media.
Not only that, we can make easy videos, but we could also turn that transcript into blog posts,
Yep.
articles, tweets. I literally record every meeting that I have, and I have the AI write up everything that I do, and then I have it summarized with me with action items and bullet points. So if I'm in a sales meeting, let's say for example you're a mover and you go into a sales meeting, and at the end of the sales meeting you want to be able to email bullet points to all the attendees. Well, it used to be that you have to go back to your office and spend 2 hours trying to figure out what was said and like write all the bullet points up instead of now you just click a button.
Yep.
The whole thing is done. You send out the action items, have a good day. The AI did it for you. You save tons of time. Instead of spending that time doing data entry, instead of being a secretary, what you can do instead is do revenue generating activities.
Right.
Is what I tell people is focus on what generates revenue and your business will grow. So when I train people on how to use artificial intelligence, when I start using automations, when I start using LinkedIn in the right way, suddenly you start getting results. Suddenly you start having the right conversations. What are revenue generated activities? Not data entry.
Nope. Nope. It's selling and those type of things. And that's what I wanted
It's
to talk.
presenting,
Right.
it's prospecting, presenting, and closing. Those are the three things you need to be busy with. Prospecting, looking for potential clients, presenting, talking to potential clients or people that are in the position to refer business to you, or closing, negotiating deals to try to get them closed. If you're doing anything else, like typing up notes, you're wasting time.
I agree, 100%. And what I've always thought of it as too is AI. The A stands for automation, and that's essentially what you're talking about right now. Is how do I automate the busy work in throughout my day to make it so that I can do more of the revenue generating aspects. So you've been working a lot with OMA, and are you going to Scottsdale next
I
week?
am going to Scottsdale, Arizona to speak for the Office Moving
Right,
Alliance, and I'm going to be talking about how to use artificial intelligence to save time and to make money
right,
for business development purposes. And
exactly.
this is my third event I'm speaking at. I'm
We love
also
you.
going to be going to another moving and relocation company in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to be training 50 sales reps on how
Wow.
to use artificial intelligence together with LinkedIn. So I'm going to outline my LinkedIn strategy for them, which is helping them figure out what their plan is, the people, the promise, their assets, helping them optimize their profile, teaching them what softwares to use. And then every one of those 50 people are going to learn how to get exposure, how to build credibility, and how to book meetings with decision makers to be able to add millions of dollars of bottom line to their business.
That's a wonderful thing. And let's talk about some of those software. So obviously there's Eevee, which is a great software, but then are you also using ChatGPT and obviously Otter? Can you talk a little bit about that?
So there is a tool that I developed called Evy AI,
Evie.
EVYAI.com. So for those of you that don't know what it is, it's an AI specifically built for LinkedIn. So if you want to write a post for LinkedIn, what you need to do is you need to write a hook, you need to write main points, you need to put a call to action, and you need to write hashtags. If you just go to ChatGPT and you say write a post, it's not going to include all those items
Right.
because you weren't specific. But my tool automatically will format it in the way with all the LinkedIn best practices. It'll pick all the right hashtags for you. It'll also draft comments on other people's posts. If I want to stay top of mind with someone, the most important thing that you need to do is leave comments on other people's posts. If you drop 10 comments a day on people's posts, they're going to notice you. There's a company here, right where we're working right now, there's a company that has 12,000 sales reps. I want to break into that company, and I want them to use my software in the entire company. I just met the district manager of the company that works right out of here. And I built a relationship outside the elevator with her. And I told her about my software. And I
Oh, is that
told
who you
her,
were talking about
that's I was
before?
talking right here. I was
Yeah,
just
I
talking to
saw
her right
that.
now. And we built an amazing relationship. I sent her a connection request on LinkedIn, but she's not going to see that connection request. So instead, what I also did was I also left a comment on her most recent post. I tagged her and I said, "Hey, it was really nice meeting you. I would love to stay in touch and build a relationship with you and get to know you." And I'm going to later get her cell phone number using AI. I'm going to find her cell phone number and I'm going to call her. I'm going to text her. I'm going to WhatsApp her. I'm going to build a relationship with her. And if she doesn't answer any of those things, I'm going to talk to the office manager over here and make sure that they get me a personal meeting with that person.
Right.
And they're going to buy wings and everything.
And that's what you got to do.
So there's a lot of tools that you can use. I just went on LinkedIn Live. Have you heard of
Of
LinkedIn Live?
course.
I just went on LinkedIn Live here with a bunch of students that came to the seminar here. And I took that LinkedIn Live and I fed it to an AI, which turned it into video clips for me
Right.
that I could use on Twitter.
Which one's that?
The one that I'm using is called Opus.
Opus?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have inside, we have an AI course. Inside our AI course, we literally have every single tool that I use. So we have dozens of different tools and we have tutorials on how to use each one of those tools in our new AI course.
Love it.
I went to the ChatGPT and I said, "Could you do me a favor? Can you help me come up with a domain name, a website name for my new AI course?" And so it asked me, it said, "Is newaicourse.com available?" I was like, "What? Why didn't I think of that?"
Right.
You know, the AI tells me the most obvious things
Right.
that I didn't even think about. And so I went to newaicourse.com and it was available, so I bought it.
And that is the thing too, is AI keeps it simple for us. A lot of times we get in our own ways trying to overthink things, and people don't even know how to get started. Like, they try to put together these grand plans of everything that they're going to do in order to obtain their goal. But half the time, the hardest, or the I should say, easiest thing is just getting started and going, and then relying on the AI to help you along the way, which it will.
So I'll give you an example. If you worked with me to create a strategy, I would sit down and together with you, I would have a conversation with Google Gemini, which is
Right.
Google's version of ChatGPT, or with Anthropic Claude, which is the competition to ChatGPT. They used to work for ChatGPT and they built a new one that's a little safer. Or even with ChatGPT 4, which is now multimodal and it can do images and video and it can do a
You
bunch of
saw
different
that
things.
actually?
Amazing,
It's
amazing.
unbelievable. You can tell it what do you want to see.
And the first thing I would do is I would learn about your business, feed that information into the AI, and start crafting a strategy for you. Now, the strategy will help define exactly who your target market is, who's your most ideal client, what is the messaging that would entice that ideal client to want to do business with you, and then I would create something called a lead magnet. Most moving and relocation companies don't have lead magnets built for them. A lead magnet is something that one of your potential customers, let's say a facilities manager, or maybe a logistics manager, or maybe a hotel general manager, depending on the industry that you're targeting, something that they would want to get, and they will give you their contact information to be able to get that asset. It might be a workbook, it might be a newsletter, it might be a checklist or a cheat sheet or a white paper or a video. The AI will help build that out for me so that I can put that on a landing page using my marketing automation software that is built on AI specifically for that industry, and it'll help be able to start driving traffic through search engines, through social media, and through email marketing to be able to get people to want to download that lead magnet.
Okay, so let's just revert back to the marketing automation software. As I understand it, what you're saying is we can create a lead magnet.
Like a funnel.
Yeah, right, exactly. A tool that is going to get people within the, prospect list that you're going after to your website or space with a marketing automation tool. How does that work?
So the way it works is we have software that sits behind your lead magnet. So let's say, for example, you have an interview. We did this interview and maybe movers want to watch this interview.
Right.
So if I want to get movers to watch this interview, I would use marketing automation software to be able to email those movers, letting them know that this interview is available and it's available for free. And all they have to do is click on a button and watch the video. Now, I already know who they are because I have their email address. So all I have to do is make them click the button. When they click the button, then there's a series of emails that will follow up with them. There's a series of ads that will now be displayed
And
to
AI
them.
assists with all of that?
AI assists with all that. And you know what? The beauty is the AI will even write up the emails
Right.
for me, and it'll write it custom to who the person is. So it'll say something like, "Hey, Jack, I noticed you have this amazing podcast. I'd love to be able to show you a new episode that we have that's specific for your industry.
Right.
Are you interested in checking it out? If you are, I make it available for you." And you reply yes, and the AI will send you an email saying, "Here's the interview." That's called conversational AI. Marketing automation software together with AI, it's next level. You can have the AI automatically send WhatsApp messages and respond to those WhatsApp messages and fill the information in your CRM for you. This is very, very powerful stuff that most people are not using. And if you learn how to use that stuff, you can get better reviews on Google, you can improve your social media, you can improve your email marketing capabilities, and you can improve your search engine optimization.
See, and it's very interesting to me too, because this podcast is now going on 3 years in April, and it's been great in terms of social media marketing. You see it when we go to the OMA conferences. I'm recognized for it. It's a tool for people to remember me, remember the advanced group, and remember what we do, which are the three key things, right? But now, what you're saying, though, would be far more effective to the broader market.
I'll give you an example. You have how many connections on LinkedIn? Thousands,
Yeah,
right?
I
You
have actually, I looked the
thousands.
other day, well, thousands of connections, but I have 2,800 followers.
So if I take your 2,800 followers and I export that into a CSV, which by the way, I can do for everyone listening to this podcast, I'm happy to do it for free. I'll take all your connections and I'll pull them out of LinkedIn, and then I'll put them into my software, specifically catered to the moving and relocation industry for marketing purposes. I now can blast all of your connections with an email getting them to watch this particular interview. Then what I can do is I can create a whole series of tweets that go out to Twitter automatically
Right.
with this interview. Then I can create a bunch of video clips automatically with AI that will go to TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts automatically. I can do all that with artificial intelligence, and I could have an assistant do it for the cost of just pennies instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars on marketers.
Right.
And the software is available to anybody. I have the software available at unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com. It's very powerful software. Of course, you need to learn how to use it,
Right.
just like you
Well,
need
like
to learn
anything
how to
else.
use AI.
Right, yeah.
But once you learn how to use it, it has a membership site, it has email automations, it has unlimited social posting, it has a CRM, a pipeline manager. So, for example, if somebody watches a podcast and then they want to purchase one of your services, or they want to become a customer, or they want to even network with you, you can put them into a specific category and have a whole series of automations that speak to that person based on who they are. It's very, very powerful.
It is very powerful. What was the website again?
Unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com.
Unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com.
3 words, unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com. And some people say, is there one D or 2 Ds? I say, everything I do has a double D. Everything I do has a double D. So 2 Ds, unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com.
And see, we just spent the first part of this podcast discussing the marketing aspect of AI and how to make your life easier and automate those type of things. But it's also fascinating from the technical side of moving specifically. And when we talk about those lead magnets, I wanted to talk to you about that, because one of the things you showed me how to do was create prompts on ChatGPT, and you're very good at that. And a lot of what you do through the marketing automation is creating those prompts. How long does it take you to create, like, give me an example of a prompt that you created and how long it's taken you to like develop it and get it to a point of functionality and then perfect it because it's being used? And the more people use the prompt, does that get smarter and more technically advanced like that?
So there's a prompt. There's a concept called prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is the ability for you to create a prompt that will get you a certain result.
Right.
There are many different elements to a prompt. There's a role. What role do you want the AI to play? For example, the AI can be a marketing strategist. So you say act as a marketing strategist. The AI can be a moving and relocation consultant.
Well, I'm going to give you an example right now. We talk about doing revenue generating activities for your job. One of the things that takes up a ton of time in my job is putting together estimates. So I'm creating an AI estimating tool, and I'm okay saying it on this podcast because A, people probably won't even see it, and B, they're not going to take the time to actually do it because it's hard. But I'm working on creating that tool for me.
But guess what? Even if they do it, who cares? It's not about the idea, it's about the execution of
Well,
the
I wanna
idea.
sell
I
it.
used to always say
Yeah.
I always say the following. You could have the best idea in the world. Call it Uber.
Yeah.
Uber wasn't the first car sharing app. You could have the best idea in
Well,
the
it's
world. Call it Google.
It's
Google
who markets
wasn't
it better. It's who
not even
markets
who
it
markets
better.
it better, who executes better. It's
Right,
not even about marketing,
right.
it's about execution.
Right.
Because Google wasn't the first search engine. Facebook wasn't the first social media site. NVIDIA wasn't the first GPU company. None of these people that are doing amazing today were the first to the game.
Right, you're right.
They just executed better. I think it was Warren Buffett that said, a terrible idea with amazing execution is better than an amazing idea with terrible execution.
Absolutely.
So if you think about that from that perspective, never be afraid to share your ideas, because if somebody else can do your idea better than you can,
Then
they
you don't-
should be doing your idea.
Right,
and
I
you
was
don't
gonna
deserve
say,
to do
you don't deserve it in the
So
first place.
I put my ideas out there into the world. I used to be afraid of it when I had a scarcity mindset, but now my mindset is abundance mindset.
I love it.
So having an abundance mindset means that if I share my idea with somebody, maybe that person is the person that can help me accomplish that idea.
Absolutely.
So I share all my ideas with the world. I have no problem sharing my ideas.
I do it too because then it holds me accountable to actually get it done. Like, back it up.
Accountability is huge. We
yeah.
need to have accountability to take action. Here's something that a lot of movers aren't doing.
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
It's interesting to me because you see me on LinkedIn.
I see you on LinkedIn, but most movers that I meet and I look at their stuff, they want to network because big relocation jobs comes from networking.
But I think you're doing a better job of getting people active because, since your conversations at the yearly and then from Florida, I see a lot more people
Taking
being
action.
active on there. Do you see it?
I do see it.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is LinkedIn is the world's largest professional social network. There's 1 billion people on LinkedIn right now, and it's growing rapidly at a rate of 3 new members every second.
Oh,
The
it's-
entire new generation that's coming into business, that's taking over all the management jobs, they're all coming from TikTok
Absolutely.
and Instagram.
Absolutely.
They're all coming from social media. They're going to graduate to LinkedIn, and then if you're not on there, if you're not sure how to
Careful doing
use
that
it,
with the mic.
if you're not on there and you're not sure how to use it, you're going to miss out big time. And so learning how to do it and making the right investment and training and using the right software for LinkedIn will be a game changer for businesses in the next 5-10 years.
And what's also important for movers, Chuck Lanham, I want to shout him out. He's with Beltman on the West Coast, and he's got like a hashtag, which is like moving cool things. And he posts that all the time, when he can. And find your unique niche. I use the podcast for mine, but find something that people are gonna make you, remember you for. OMA does a good job of it as a whole with the OMA Vantage hashtag and the We Are OMA hashtag. And see, that's a tool that you can use when you're prospecting on LinkedIn. Be like, hey, you wanna learn more? Go check out the hashtag OMA Vantage or We Are OMA. And then they can go there and see everything that we're all doing and the power of that, partnership.
And a lot of times people don't realize that networking gets you the best types of clients.
Without a doubt, they're the most real ones.
Building relationships. Like if somebody wants to spend $100,000 on relocation or $500,000 on relocation, you think they're going to go on Google to find a mover? No, they're going to look through their relationships to find people that they can actually trust to do a good job.
And this is where AI comes in too, as far as getting those prospect lists, because I think that's one of the biggest challenges for movers on LinkedIn and just people in general who are using LinkedIn as a prospecting tool is getting a list of can AI create a list of let's say, I want to go after commercial real estate brokers. They'll give you the list of like the top 10 brokers in the country.
The top 10 companies.
Yeah, top 10, yeah,
Yeah, so I'll
companies.
tell you what happened. I went to this OMA event in Clearwater, Florida, and I met this guy named Edward, and we had an amazing conversation. And then he showed me the OMA list, the attendee list, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have the attendee list." He's like, "I have a printout. You could take a picture of it." I took a picture of it. I uploaded the picture of the attendee list to ChatGPT, and I said, "Can you analyze all these companies that are on here and tell me which one of them are international, which one of them are regional, and which one of them are local companies?" And it broke down the list. And I said, out of these companies, I said, I'm a digital marketing agency. I do B2B marketing. I da da da. Which are the companies that are most likely to do business with me? And it gave me the top 5 companies that are most likely to do business with me that can benefit the most from me. What did I do? I tagged the people that work at those companies that are at the OMA event in a post, and I said, ChatGPT told me to talk to these people. One of them came over to me and he said, Joe, I saw you just tagged me 5 minutes ago. Like, what's up? I said, ChatGPT said we need to work together. He hired me.
And is that the
He
company
hired
in,
me,
in
yeah,
Washington?
exactly.
There
He
you
hired
go.
me. Boom,
There
just
you
like
go.
that.
And just like that. And half the battle is putting yourself out there and just doing it. And again, that's a huge, that's a
But
hum.
the AI does the research.
Right,
The AI
exactly,
supports you and
exactly.
writes the content and does everything. So like there's really no excuse anymore because the barrier of entry has been lowered so low. You can get a full-time assistant overseas to help you with your marketing. They don't even have to speak perfect English.
Right, right. I need to look into that. Unlimited digital marketing. I'm
Digitalmarketing.com.
gonna look into that one. Getting back to the prompts, because the prompts are key and key for
So
me.
there's a concept called prompt engineering,
Right.
understanding how to develop prompts. In our AI course, newaicourse.com, we give you 1,000 ChatGPT prompts that I've prepared. So I prepared prompts already that are ready to go prompts. And you asked me a question, you're like, how much time does it take to build a prompt? You can always perfect things.
Right.
Like, you could always make things better and better and better. And every single time I look at a prompt, I find a way to make it better. The more specific you are with the prompt, the more likely it is that the prompt will be a good prompt. So I'll give you an example. Role. What is the role of the AI? Task. What is the task that the AI needs to do? Qualifications. What should the AI include? What should it not include? Tone. What type of tone should it have? Should it be conversational? Should it be authoritative? What type of role? What type of voice should it have? What are the taboos? What are the things that it shouldn't say? It shouldn't include? What are your preferred phrases? What is the format of the post? How do you want it to be formatted? Do you want it bullet points? Do you want summary?
And that's all that, I'm not saying it right. Evie?
EVYAI.com knows how to
Evie.
format it for
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It does that very
It
well.
does that automatically. So you have to think about it. With ChatGPT now, you have to become a prompt engineer. With Evi AI, you could just be a LinkedIn user and it works perfect.
Yeah.
It'll leave comments, it'll write posts, it'll help you leave recommendations for people, it'll help you create connection notes when you're trying to connect to people on LinkedIn. It'll even get you a top voice badge on LinkedIn, which will give you expanded credibility on your profile.
We can cut this part if we need to, but I noticed it actually took it off my LinkedIn. Why did it do that?
Oh, what happened is Google Chrome got contacted by a rogue lawyer that was trying to extort us for money.
No shit.
And they say when you become successful, people start hitting you
That's
up for
right.
money. And they
That's right.
said they're using LinkedIn's name without permission. Anyone's allowed to write LinkedIn. We wrote, we're an extension for LinkedIn. We didn't say we are LinkedIn.
Right.
So Google just said, you know what, we're going to shut you down. So Google took us off the store, but they didn't shut our program down. Our
Yeah.
program still works. So they took us off the store. So we basically just put it back up on the store, but without the word LinkedIn, and it went right back up. So
Oh.
just delete that one and add the new one, and we're good.
Okay, good to
And we
know.
also launched version 2.0, which is a more advanced version.
Nice.
So if you delete the one that you have on right now and you just install the new one, you're good.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So
That's
we
good to
had
know.
no problem
Glad
with
I asked.
LinkedIn. There was just a random
figured it was
lawyer that
something.
contacted Google and said, remove it from the store until they pay us. And we're like, what?
Little
What
more-
the heck?
more money,
but
more
lawyers,
problems.
exactly. But lawyers just, ambulance chasers. They could just do
Right.
whatever they want these days. And we're not going to sit here and fight these big companies. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to try to build a business. And that's it.
Right. That's right. How would you say this journey has gone for you in terms of building the business?
Well, this is my third business that I'm building. So I
Right.
built a digital marketing agency that was very, very successful. I built a training company that trains companies on how to use LinkedIn and now AI, also very successful. We trained over 1,000 companies. And now we have clients in 30 different countries with this AI. But building software is very different than doing education, and it's very different than doing services. So it's a whole new set of challenges dealing with developers, dealing with legalities, dealing with lawsuits, dealing with all these things, security, cybersecurity, backups, algorithms. There's so many things that we have to like concern ourselves with. But as an entrepreneur, I thrive at learning new things.
Yeah.
Throw me any problem, I'll turn it into an opportunity. I want problems.
You are very good
Because
at that.
every problem is an opportunity in disguise. It's an opportunity. You have the opportunity to grow. They say that progress equals happiness. I get joy from progress.
That's right. And you do a good job, Joe. You really do. And I'm so thankful that you took the time to come on this podcast. Like we said when we started, it has been like a long road to get you here. And it's been mostly my fault, for one reason or another. But I'm glad we got it here tonight. This was great.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you for hosting me. I'm very into personal development, and I feel that being on a podcast is a form of personal development. I read 2 books a month.
Nice.
This book I'm reading, so last month I read a book by James Clear
Oh, yeah.
called Atomic
How
Habits.
great is that book?
Amazing book. I also am reading a book called The War of Art,
Interesting.
which is about resistance. And when you're trying to do anything creative, like an entrepreneurial endeavor or writing a book or anything like that, there's a concept called resistance that's going to come up. I'm also reading a book about building a SaaS company. And so for me, I'm like obsessed with personal development. I did Landmark, I did Tony Robbins, and I'm always looking for ways for me to be able to become better so that I can give more. Because I believe that the secret to living is giving.
Amen.
Like if you're able to give to other people, if you're able to make a difference, not selling. Selling is not the best thing in the world. Serving is the best thing in the world. So for me, I make sales, but I do it in the form of me being a servant leader instead of being a taker or a faker. Maybe a waker and baker, but that's it.
Well, Joe, on that note, we'll look forward to next time. We'll definitely do this again.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting me, and thank you for being a great friend.
I appreciate
I'm so
it. You
grateful
too.
that we met at the IDB Pros. I
I know.
remember that day.
I know. That's when
and
it started.
It's been a long journey, but I'm really grateful that I went from teaching people how to use LinkedIn to now teaching them how to use AI. Because with LinkedIn, you're kind of creating more work for people, but with AI, you're saving them time and creating less work for them. So it's kind of like you put them together, now you have the ultimate concoction. So I'm very grateful. Thank you for hosting me.
No, it's my pleasure, and thank you, everybody, for listening. See you next time.